the best cyberpunk hasn't been made yet. Like Neuromancer and Smoke Crash and
Oh, yeah, like going off of books.
yeah. Because I
Yeah,
mean,
probably.
Ready Player One kind of sucked.
I didn't care for that. I thought it was, I don't know. It was downright masturbatory, really. You know, it was so much fan service. Like, I like fan service, but when the whole movie is just fan service, like that's the whole point of everything in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are
Yeah.
we recording, by the way? Because
Uh,
we're
yeah.
already in the discussion, it seems like.
Yeah. I started, I think, right in
Okay.
the middle.
Um, yeah, I didn't care for Ready Player One, and I guess that would be kind of cyberpunk, right? Is it?
Um, I guess what you have cyborgs and punk. So
Yeah, and you've got a big city, you've got an evil corporation, um, high tech, low life. You've got all that. I guess it would count, yeah.
yeah,
There's a few that I
it's
saw when I was kind of
more dystopia.
perusing lists. Yeah, when I was perusing certain lists, there was a few listed where I thought they were a bit of a stretch, and there was a couple that I didn't think about. Like Total Recall was on there, and well, you think about the themes and
Yeah,
everything going on in that movie, it's like, oh yeah, I guess that is cyberpunk.
and I guess Terminator as well.
Yeah, see, Terminator, I wouldn't consider cyberpunk at all.
Yeah, it's more I guess robots.
Yeah, it's like um, even the sequences in the future, that's just like post-apocalypse type stuff.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess there's a little balance. You can't
yeah,
have
and I saw the
complete.
Matrix was included on a lot of it,
Yeah,
which instinctually, the Matrix doesn't feel like a cyberpunk movie to me either. But then I think about it, and I'm like, well, all the elements are mostly there.
yeah,
It just doesn't feel like one.
yeah. I guess it's you're like stuck in a simulated reality.
Yeah, I think it's the for me it might be the issue of setting too, because it always feels like the setting should be in like
I mean,
a, s-
the '90s is kind
a
of a
mat.
dystopia.
Yeah, but it like the Matrix is modern, even though it takes place like 100 years in the future or whatever. That part's just post-apocalyptic, and then all the scenes in the Matrix is just like 1998, um, which is why it doesn't feel that cyberpunky to me. But the funny thing about that is I say that, but my third choice doesn't take place in the future, and it takes place in a pretty regular city. And
Okay.
I mean, I guess it takes place in the future for when the movie was made, but only barely. Um, it very specifically takes place in 1999, but
So I guess I was thinking that my Twin Peaks joke wouldn't work for this category.
oh, like how you always reference Twin Peaks.
Yep. I guess they do have electricity, but yeah, no cyberpunk.
Well, the isn't the protagonist kind of a disillusioned detective type? I mean, you got that.
He's more like uh, like he's really lucky, and like I wouldn't say he's disillusioned because I mean, maybe he's stuck in his own
I don't know.
universe and he makes up all the
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah, I was just making assumptions because I haven't actually seen the show, but I know he's like FBI, right?
Yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
they do a lot of dream logic.
Mm.
I guess purposely make things cryptic. But anyway, I was trying to steer it back to. I guess there was a couple. Let's see. Have you heard of the Brothers Quay?
I don't think so.
Okay, I know you've seen the Tool music videos, but I came.
Yeah.
So it's like claymation or stop
Hmm.
motion. I'm not sure how much clay they use, but yeah, I came across this YouTube video of Kurt Cobain calling Tool's videos like ripping off Brothers Quay. So I was like, what are these guys? And checked them out. They're like, the one I watched was the Streets of Crocodile, something like that. But yeah, I would recommend you check them out. And I guess I wanted
Brothers.
to ask you about the fine line between being inspired by art and just completely ripping something off.
Yeah, yeah, that's a tough question that I wonder about often. Um,
You know, when I'm doing stuff, it's like there's a phase where you're just trying to copy somebody's style, and then you kind of
mhm.
fail at it in your own unique way.
Yeah, I think and then there's like derivative, and then there's, I don't know. I don't, it's almost like a you know it when you see it kind of thing.
Well, I
If
don't
you're,
know, because I mean, with AI in general, it's like it's massively like I know the Studio Ghibli style. It's like they just rip off, you know, a whole anime studio's, you know, signature art
right,
style.
I don't know. If I feel like if you have like enough very obvious plot points and similarities, it's almost like you have to have enough of them to be like, okay, this is not an original
Okay, well,
thing.
I
Like
guess
that they're ripping this
after
off.
you see some of the material, maybe you can um, talk about it. Tool ripped off others' clay.
Yeah, that I don't know. I mean, I've never heard of that. Um,
I'm not sure because they've been around a while. The one I saw was like '86.
how do you spell it?
It's Quay.
Okay, I got it.
But yeah, they're two. I want to say Russian, but I'm honestly not sure.
Okay, I mean, I'm looking at images and I can see, yeah, there's definitely like almost the same style, but I don't know if I'd call that a ripoff though.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. Oh, they're U.S. Pennsylvania. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see more of it and compare it, I guess, but my instinct is telling me that I probably wouldn't call it a ripoff, especially if it's an art style. a style of filmmaking. Um, yeah, I don't know. I hear ripoff, and I think more along the lines of like story elements or something like that. But I guess it can go beyond that because
Yeah, I guess you got the costume quote, the best artist
you've got
steal.
what's that guy's name? Let me look him up here. Blanking on this dude's name. Christian Slater. So Christian Slater had an entire acting career where he did nothing but just do an impression of Jack Nicholson. That's all he did. It's just an impression of Jack Nicholson.
Okay. I mean, Jack
So
Nicholson's
like,
pretty diverse.
right, but just watch anything with Christian Slater with that in mind, and you'll see what I'm talking about. In fact, I think he even admits to it at various points throughout his career. But is that ripping something off? You know, like I don't know if I'd call it that. It's a weird thing to do, but it seemed to work for him. I mean, he had a decent acting career.
I guess. I mean, if that's all you want out of it.
Yeah,
Like, I know Johnny Depp, he doesn't even want to act. He wants to be in a rock band. He just
yeah,
acts because
well,
he's good at it, I guess.
yeah. But just that fine line that we're talking about of like what is a rip off and what isn't. Like, is it if you're like ripping off someone's entire like uh, screen presence, I don't know if that's ripping it off though.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just a
kind of
weird.
an impossible thing to do since, you're a
Yeah.
different person.
Anyway, you've got really obvious examples like Breaking Bad, and then there was that. I don't remember what what country it came from, but there was like another show that was made in some other country where
Oh, I hate
they like
those.
yeah, they like ripped it off like line by line and shot by shot. It was the same exact show. They just remade
I like
everything.
those. I would call those like scams, though. Like, uh,
Yeah.
like I remember when Inglorious Bastards came out. It's like they had it in
Mhm.
Walmart, the misspelled Inglorious Bastards. It was like an entirely different movie.
Oh, weird. I don't remember that one. But yeah, there's a lot of those too. Like the whole Transmorphers thing and the Asylum films that um they just but the movies themselves, because I've seen a few of those, and the movies themselves are not that close to what they're ripping off. They're just using a similar name so that they can trick grandmothers into buying their
Yeah,
those for Christmas. Because, but then you watch the actual movie and it's usually pretty far removed, I think, from the original source. Uh, so now it's just kind of like, okay, they're ripping off the title, sort
yeah.
of.
They're writing
Um,
coattails.
yeah. And one of them that I remember that really, I think, might be a good example of that blurry line, even though I haven't seen the other movie, but apparently Midsummer has like a shitload of very glaring similarities to another movie called Midsummer that came out like way back in the 90s or something.
Oh, okay,
Um,
I haven't heard of that one.
yeah, there was what's that dude's name? Chris Stuckman did a video about it, and he kind of talked. He didn't like accuse them of ripping it off. He was just saying it's kind of noticeable. Um, but I haven't seen that other movie, so I can't really say for sure.
Well,
how
I
I feel
thought
about it, but
Ari
it
Aster,
sounds,
I thought he was presented a script. Like it wasn't something he wrote, I think.
yeah, I mean, I don't know where it, you know, if he wrote it or not. And I don't think it's an accusation on Ari Aster specifically. It's just
But,
apparently the script is pretty derivative of something else. And then there's also there's some similarities between Midsummer and The Wicker Man,
that's the
but
one.
they're just kind of similarities. They're like um, folk horror tropes or something.
Okay. So, like, yeah, genre staples. Huh.
Yeah,
I guess that's something people complain about a lot. Like when they're expecting a horror movie and it's not quite.
yeah. Well, it also kind of depends on how limited their idea of a horror movie or whatever genre it actually is. Um, which I fall into that trap too, because a lot of the cyberpunk stuff, I was like, that's not cyberpunk. And then I had to think about it, and I'm like, well, I guess it kind of is.
Yeah, I guess technically you only need like a cyborg in there, or just like um, like a robot hand or something. I mean, there's cyborgs all around us.
Nah, I wouldn't agree with that.
Okay, so you need more.
Yeah, you need more. You need the high tech, low life thing. You got to have some evil corporation stuff going on. Um,
Okay, so you're maybe going off of the tabletop.
like themes.
I thought the like tabletop RPG, what was it called, cyberpunk? I was thinking of a
Maybe.
shadow run. Um,
Oh, Shadowrun. Well, Shadowrun is totally like all the cyberpunk tropes. Like they were already there, and Shadowrun just kind of put them into a game,
okay,
and then added,
like
dwarves and shit.
I don't know. Isn't that pretty old? Isn't it like early '80s?
I don't know how old Shadowrun is. It is like 80s, but let's see. Shadowrun.
So, because I guess punk was '80s, so I guess that's where the two combine. Because I was trying to think if there was. I guess there's like Star Trek. That's uh,
Yeah, that's definitely not cyberpunk.
well, no, but it's like techno um, love or love for technology. Like,
Okay. Yeah, cyberpunk or Shadowrun came out was first published in '89.
oh, okay, I thought it was older than that.
Yeah, I thought it was a little older than that. Um, let's see, cyberpunk.
Yeah,
According to Wikipedia,
I know some of
cyberpunk
them
is a subgenre.
mentioned
Huh?
RoboCop too. Like a lot of the lists I was looking at.
I saw that too. Yeah, and I think that fits.
Yeah,
I
technically.
mean, yeah, and it's all about like it has great like crazy technology, but everybody's life is garbage. Um,
Well, except
and
the mega rich.
yeah, and of course, it's all about corporate corruption. Um, yeah, so cyberpunk is a subgenre of science fiction in a dystopian futuristic setting, said to focus on a combination of low life and high tech. Features futuristic. futuristic technological and scientific achievements juxtaposed with societal collapse, dystopia, or decay. And that's kind of what I was thinking as far as,
Sure.
That's why The Matrix doesn't quite fit for me, because it's not so much dystopian as it is post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's like a whole new society.
Yeah, like everything's already collapsed.
Robots taking over,
Yeah.
and humans are insignificant. But have you seen Iron Man Tetsuo?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it though.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's boring. I've been watching all of that director's movies, and
Uh-huh.
they're interesting. It's just like him and his Japanese friends making crazy, weird movies. Because it does kind of go into the body horror aspect of cyberpunk, I
That's
guess.
that's what I thought, that it
Because it's like him
involves some.
running around a junkyard, and he's like collecting metal, kind of like a calamari ball. And then,
Yeah, that's one of the things I knew, was that it was some kind of body horror involving like technology or something. So anyway, we should probably get to our list.
oh, I didn't really organize my list that well. I think the Matrix is on there.
Well, I mean, clearly most people disagree with me on that.
Um, okay. But yeah, I guess that could go in an honorable mention. I have enough other picks. But yeah, I had a hard time picking my favorite.
Yeah, I did too. But only because I made myself have a hard time, because, like I said, for the record,
Oh, okay.
the first two are Blade Runner and then Blade Runner 2049. Those are
I
my
guess.
two favorites.
Uh,
But I left them off the list to make it harder on myself.
I like those, but they're not really my favorite.
Yeah.
And then there's um, like Pedal Angel Alita.
Yeah, I saw that come up on a lot of lists, and I've heard of it, but I never actually watched it.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's like my complaint is that I guess it's supposed to be part of a trilogy, and the rest of the trilogy is not out yet. So
Uh,
it's like I read the book, like, and then it was like a series, and then another series, and and I honestly think the anime is better than the movie, but maybe that's just nostalgia.
yeah. So is that on your list, or is it an honorable mention?
Um, so that's the thing. I haven't really decided yet. I think I'd go with the anime as number three. We'll make it official. I'll
Okay.
quit squirming
I mean,
around.
there's been a few times, I think, where I've changed as we're talking. I've decided to change, things on the list.
Yeah, or change previous picks in the past because you remembered something.
Hmm.
Anyway, what's your number three?
So my number three, I came really close to not including this one, just because it's been a long time since I've seen it, and it might not hold up, and I might not even agree with it being on the list. But I remember loving it enough at the time, and when I think back on some of the themes and elements of it, it makes sense. Strange Days. Did you see that one?
It has been a long time. And
Yeah.
there's other
Uh,
movies I like better.
sure.
But,
Yeah, and it's
I
there's definitely movies that are better that fit cyberpunk, but I think this one was one of those. It's similar to the one I picked for my first choice because it influenced how I think of that genre a lot, and um, it
okay.
just kind of it was one of the first movies of that type that I saw other than Blade Runner. Um, so I think it influenced that. It's also thinking back on it, it is really fucking dark. Um,
Hmm. Is that
like
where
some
they
of the things
have
I
memories they put in their brains or something?
yeah, they like record people's memories, but it's not just like visual and audio, like they feel everything.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Because I guess David Cronenberg did a movie like that too, Existence.
oh, really?
Yeah, he had
Oh,
this
yeah.
wormy thing he would hook up to. Really gross. But,
Yeah. I never saw that one either. I remember that when it came
I think
out.
Jude Law
I
was
just
in
never
that.
got around.
It's good.
I was gonna say, I think that's Jude Law, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
But yeah, good movie. Weird name.
yeah, yeah. Good movie. I don't think that, especially younger people, if they were to watch that movie, they wouldn't quite, they might not quite get the when that movie came out and all the hype around, like, oh, it's about to be the year 2000,
Oh,
1999 in the year 2000. And like, there was this feeling of like, that's a big deal for some reason, but no one could really say
Y2K.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was the whole Y2K scare, which I think the Y2K scare was influenced a lot by that, like, people were assigning meaning to this specific, it's the end of the millennium kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah, all those Bible movies came out. Uh,
Yeah.
Jesus is coming back. This is it. This is it.
Yep. I remember, yeah, I remember Y2K quite vividly because my father, I don't know if you remember this, but you remember
I
that
think
closet that was
you asked
across
me
from
about it.
my parents' bedroom under the stairs?
Uh,
That like really deep closet that we had?
kind of.
Uh,
I didn't
it
go in
was
there much.
full of, he was like stockpiling stuff because he thought Y2K was going to be the end of the world.
Okay.
And, you know, store shelves would be empty and all this. So he was stockpiling stuff in there, but it was mostly just like toothpaste and Aquanet hairspray for some reason.
Yep, we totally need those.
And, but he had like a lot of dry goods, a lot of like beef jerky, and he was just stockpiling
MREs.
stuff in there. Yeah, MREs type stuff. And for years afterwards, we would like just shop in that closet. Like, oh, we're out of whatever, see if it's in the fucking Y2K closet.
I mean, that's not a bad. I mean, looking back at inflation and all that, should
I
should have
mean,
had something.
yeah, it's nice to have. I stockpile shit all the time, but that's just because I'm used to
I mean, I've
the
made
ebbs
a
and flows of extreme poverty.
yeah,
But
made an effort to clean out as much crap as I can.
yeah,
And got
but
rid
his
of what.
reasoning
Yeah.
was the whole thing, and I remember that night of the actual, you know, New Year's Eve night, we I was at the church youth group was throwing like a big party thing, and I
Okay.
was with them at someone's house,
Surprised I
And
wasn't with you.
I don't know if you were with me. I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, but I remember one of the adults thought it would be funny to like throw the break or like turn off all the electricity in the house right at midnight. But he we were all out in the backyard and there's a little window for that laundry room or wherever that was.
Oh, okay.
And
So,
I saw him like flip on the light, walk in there, open the
yeah,
the thing, and was like looking at his
back of
watch,
watch.
waiting. He's like, "Oh, okay, he's gonna do a thing." So it didn't really work because a lot of other people saw him doing it. But
Yeah. Need some blinds or something.
yeah, and my father was talking about how everybody would always ask him like, "What's your plans for New Year's Eve this year?" Leading up to it, and he'd tell him the same thing. "Oh, I'd be sitting in my chair with my shotgun across my lap." I'm like, I'm pretty sure like it's not even if all the electricity somehow just went out at midnight.
Right.
I don't think the
Right.
looting would start right away.
Yeah, it'd take a week or a month.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you are going around telling everyone that you're stockpiling weapons and ammunition for the end of the world. You just told everyone where to get weapons and ammunition. So,
Yeah, that's true.
anyway. Yeah, so Strange Days came out around that time, and I feel like it tapped into that weird
Yeah.
paranoia mindset that people had about that New Year's Day.
Yeah. I'm pretty
So,
sure I watched that over at your house. That's maybe the only time I've seen it. It's been a while.
yeah, I should rewatch it. It's been a very long time. But yeah, here's my number 3.
Okay. Um, I guess I was going to go with Minority Report. Uh,
Okay,
Tom Cruise. I'm not a
great
big,
choice.
not a big Tom Cruise fan, but he nails this movie. Yeah, out of his movies, probably
Yeah,
my favorite. I guess
I like
Vanilla
Tom Cruise.
Sky is pretty good too.
Yeah. Uh, well, if we're talking Tom Cruise movies, my favorite's probably Collateral. Um, but
Mm,
I like Tom Cruise. I think as a person, he's a shitty, horrible person. Fine, whatever. But I think every time I see him in a movie, I'm like, all right, this is pretty solid. I don't.
well,
I've never had
he's
anything
a
against him as an actor.
he's a master of his craft. I mean, he does all his own
Yeah,
stunts, like props for that. That's hard work. You know,
you know,
like Top Gun was all real, no CGI. I think.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Oh, what is if we're talking his stunts? One of my favorite sequences. Sometimes I'll just watch it on YouTube for fun. And I'm
Okay.
terrified of heights, but that Burj Khalifa sequence in one of the Mission Impossibles where he's like running across the building and climbing and shit.
Hmm.
That's like one of my favorite stunts ever put to film. It's amazing. It
I
looks
don't know.
incredible.
I
It's
think
exciting.
Jackie Chan's done some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Minority Report's fucking great. Um,
Getting phone
and
calls.
very
Sorry.
cyberpunk.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we were talking about. But yeah, I like the oracles or the AI, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, that's very
It brings up
dystopia
interesting
connotations.
philosophical questions and
Yeah, it's like,
really interesting ethical questions.
yeah, it's like, do you have to do the crime or? Because I know, like, just being brought up in the Christian cult it's like your thoughts were the crime. Like just thinking
Yeah,
bad thoughts was a sin.
yeah,
It's like you didn't have to actually
yeah.
do anything, just thinking.
I think when it comes to ethics, the way it's presented in the movie too is everybody just believes that it's 100% flawless, but they also admit that that where it's coming from, the psychics, the oracles that it's coming from are people. So already you've got a problem there.
Right.
And it's showing things visually on a screen that people are watching and reacting to. So you've already got, and of course, in the end of the movie, they show how flawed that really is and how it can cause a problem.
Yeah.
So the movie does land on an answer, but it's just such a really interesting thing to chew on
Well, I guess
because
in our society today, with all the mathematical models that they have,
mhm,
it's like they have high risk people who are sociopaths and I guess more likely to be serial killers and all that. And it's like
yeah,
I'm pretty
and then you
sure
get
with
into like Gattaca territory where it's like,
yeah,
well, your DNA says you're more likely to do this.
yeah, I'm pretty sure our government's trying to do that right now.
But yeah, it's just I think it's just a bad idea all around.
Most definitely. Now, if we could
But
only have
yeah,
a
good movie,
government
very
that, huh?
great action sequences in that movie.
I don't remember a lot of the action.
That's mostly uh, cat and mouse type stuff.
Hmm.
Colin Farrell chasing him around the city, and Tom
Okay.
cruising all over cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and that weird like sonic gun thing that he shoots at people, that was kind of fun.
Hmm. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's about
Yep.
all I got on that.
Yeah. That's um kind of sucks because I think we've said everything about Minority Report, which is my number two. So
Oh, okay. Huh. Well, I'll
yep,
be
that's
damned.
also my number two, Minority Report. Um
I'm.
oh, you got the moldy sandwich scene. There's something to talk about.
Oh
Remember
yeah.
when he gets his eyes replaced
No.
and that is Minority Report, right? Yeah, yeah. He gets his eyes replaced so that they can't track him. And
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that's the scene with the little spiders that run into the apartment building.
Yeah. It's kind of like Invader Zim.
Yeah. Um, and then there's a scene where he's like stumbling around the kitchen looking for food, and he gets like a moldy sandwich out of the fridge and eats it and like spits it out and is really grossed out. And then he tries to wash it down, and he grabs like rotted milk or something.
Uh,
It's a pretty nasty scene.
huh.
But there you go. I guess that's both
Yeah.
of our number
It
two.
was that's a Philip K. Dick movie, isn't it?
I believe it is. Yeah.
I
Let me double check
have
that.
not read that book.
I don't want to spread misinformation.
We're
It is
human.
Philip. Yeah, it is. Hey, Dick.
We'll fuck it. We'll fuck something up. Oh,
1956.
I guess I did want to mention some of the video games. I guess we already talked about Shadowrun, but I guess there was a Sega Genesis version of that. I never got to play as a kid, but tracked down the emulator and
Yeah.
played it. But I was thinking of you remember Bullfrog? They had it was called Syndicate Wars.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, okay. I think I just rented it, so that's probably why I didn't show it to you. But it's basically you're a mob of cyborgs, have your own little gang, and just go around. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto with a group. You just run around
Interesting.
shooting up stuff.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Okay. All right. So were we on number one?
Yeah, you were talking about video games though.
Oh, well, I mean, if you haven't played it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
The
I don't know,
only
because I guess Final Fantasy kind of had some cyberpunk elements to it.
yeah, it definitely has some elements, or at least Final Fantasy VII, which is really the only one I've really played. Um,
I think that's really the only
I
one.
have played I have played Cyberpunk 2077. I haven't finished it, but I've played quite a bit of it. Um,
Yeah,
it's
I'll
good.
I'll
It's
get around to it one day. I like their The Witcher. They did that game studio.
Oh, is that okay? That's The Witcher. I never played that. I'm sure I'd love it. I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, 20 Cyberpunk 2077 I had to kind of get used to. There's a lot there that doesn't really work. There's a lot of frustrating things about that game, but
Yeah,
it's
I
it's
guess
cool enough that I just kind of deal with it.
it does kind of remind me of I don't know if you played. It's an older game, Deus Ex. Uh,
Y- I haven't played it, but I know that's one that people
yeah,
talk
it's
about a
like
lot.
quintessential cyberpunk, like doing
Yeah.
upgrades and all that. Hold
Yeah.
on.
And there's a lot of that in Cyberpunk 2077, which is really cool. The character customization is great.
Well,
Yeah, I was talking about Cyberpunk 2077 and some of my frustrations with it. I really like the character customization, which makes it more frustrating that there's not a third person view.
yeah, that
Um,
seems odd. And that was like The Witcher. It's all third person.
yeah, um, yeah, that's frustrating to me because for one thing, I get like mild motion sickness with first person shooter type games.
Huh.
Um, it's almost like I have to have third person, so there's like a center point. I don't know. It like anchors my brain somehow, and I don't feel queasy. But I always end up feeling kind of queasy with first person stuff. So that's frustrating, but the biggest part is like you spend all this time finding cool clothes and changing your hairstyles and doing all this cool stuff to make your character look cool, and
Playing
then you
dress up.
never see the character.
Right.
That's really frustrating. Um,
Unless you just want to sit there and look at the in-game mirror or whatever.
yeah, I mean, and the environment is awesome. That's one of the things that finally made me just kind of deal with all that and bring and come back to the game is the environment. It looks amazing, but I want to see my character. And uh, I just saw where they're in pre development for the sequel,
Oh, okay.
and apparently, I mean, it's going to be like 6 or 7 years probably by the time
Really?
it comes out, but
Thanks.
uh, apparently they're going to stick with the third person, which just give us a choice. I mean, fucking Fallout has a choice. You can be first person or
Yeah,
person.
it
Anyway,
does.
that's my
Yeah, I would think it's technically possible. I don't know why they would do that.
yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it, especially with a game that you would think revolves so much, even more than like Skyrim or Fallout. It revolves so much about the aesthetic of your character and what your character looks like.
Um,
And the only way to see them is like in the menu screen. So,
yeah,
or to ride a motorcycle. It goes into third person if you get
huh.
on, if you get in a vehicle. So, I don't know. Make it make sense. Anyway, that's my rant on that fucking game. Still love it though. I love that game.
Okay. I mean, I guess I've played so many games, mainly Deus Ex. It's like I have a hard time imagining anybody topping that. It's like you got your
Yeah.
global conspiracies and AI taking over, and but everything you could want in a cyberpunk game.
Well, that's the thing. It it delivers on so much
I guess
so well
the updated
that
graphics
these
and stuff
little
like
things irritate me even more.
that.
Because it's like, oh man, it could be everything I ever wanted in a video game, but there are a couple of big elements that um, just are not there. Another one that drives me nuts is there's like clothing with upgrades and stuff, right?
Mhm.
And they have slots for upgrades, but you can't upgrade any of your clothing. You can't like do anything with it.
Huh.
And apparently that was originally there, but then they took it out to
Ah.
make it harder or something. So I don't know.
Oh, they had
Anyway,
yeah, development difficulty balancing the game. Yeah, that
yeah,
happens.
maybe.
Because I know it's like
Yeah.
you're in the planning phase, and yeah, like you got big dreams, and then yeah, getting it to work is a big pain in the ass.
Sure. And of course there was notorious issues when it launched, and I only play it on PlayStation because I don't have a PC. So a lot of those issues that were fixed later on haven't been fixed on PS4 because
Really?
there's just no more updates for it. There
Huh.
might be by now. It's been like probably a year since I put it in and played
Oh,
it,
okay. I thought,
and maybe it'll.
yeah, I
Huh?
thought they did update. I mean, I get updates on old games or
Yeah,
PlayStation games.
I still get updates for GTA 5 when I put it in. So
Yeah, I guess six is on the way, but that's not cyberpunk.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
So I guess we're on number
The one
one.
that. Oh yeah, yeah. Get back to movies.
uh, yeah, I went ahead and went with Total Recall.
All right.
Good old Arnold.
Great, great choice. That was
Well,
one of the ones
like
where I
when
saw
it's
it on a list. That's one of my all-time favorite movies, but for some reason, I just never thought of it as cyberpunk. But then, if I watch the movie and think about it, it's all there, even stylistically, like the
yeah,
Venus town with all the prostitutes and everything. That's pure cyberpunk.
third tip. Yeah, it's got
You know, the
like the
corporate corruption.
the mutants.
Yeah, it's all there. I don't know why. I just never thought of it as. I think it's the Mars element. You know, the fact that it takes place on another planet. For some reason, to me, like it trips my brain into thinking like this is
Space movie.
more of a space opera type sci-fi, but it's definitely not.
Right.
Um, yeah, that movie's pure cyberpunk. I don't know why I never think of it that way, but
Yeah,
um,
love that scene
it's
where
just so much fun.
yeah, it's like where he gets tossed out the airlock and his eyeballs explode on his head.
Yeah, which makes zero sense. Like when him and Melina are like, you know, out in the Martian atmosphere and their eyeballs are popping out and everything, but then as soon as the oxygen hits them, they're like fine and nothing ruptured apparently somehow.
I thought it was a dream sequence.
The first one, well, there is an argument that the whole movie is a dream sequence, which the movie
Or
makes on and off throughout the movie, but the
implanted memory.
first,
I guess it does play with that.
yeah, the first scene where he breaks his face shield and starts, doing the thing, that's like the opening to the movie, and he wakes up and it's a dream. But at the very end, when he does the thing and it sets off the alien technology to give Mars an atmosphere, he sets it off and then they get sucked out right away, and the corporate bad guy got sucked out a few minutes earlier, so he's dead. But there, it's him and Melina, and they're both on the ground freaking out, and their eyes are popping out. And then the atmosphere happens, and then they're just fine, and they stand up, and they're like, "Oh man, that sucked." Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but that's okay
I
because
thought
it's
they kind of played the end of it as like he was a implanted memory and a spy or whatever to be an action hero or something. Like he paid for the action movie experience.
Yeah.
In the
which
in the tourist implanted memory whatever boutique.
And the movie overtly says that that's what he's doing. But then there's one. I love that scene though, where he's flipping out, and the guy at Recall, the Recall guy, is saying, oh, he's just living out the secret agent portion of the memory implant, and then the lady's like, we haven't implanted it yet. So then you realize, oh shit, and then the movie takes off from there. It's a great reveal to the inciting incident. But if you look at the movie as a whole, that scene could be part of the delusion. So,
and
I don't
him
know.
Pulling out that bug out of his nose.
Yeah, that's one of those scenes where you stop and you think there are a lot of fake Arnold Schwarzenegger heads that were made in Hollywood. There's so many of them. There's that one. I remember one from a movie called Eraser, where he jumps out of an airplane and he's trying to get his chute to work. And there's a moment where you can see that it's a stuntman. It's an actual skydiver, and he's got a fake Arnold head on. It's hilarious. And of course, you got the most famous one from Terminator, where he's digging the eye out. There's a lot of fake Arnold heads.
Nice.
They're probably all rotted away by now, but
I don't know. I mean, if you take care of them, those things can last a while.
It would be funny if there was some eccentric rich guy out there that just has all of the original random Arnold heads from movies just in a room like Escape from Oz.
Yeah. So, well. Yeah.
Oh, that movie also has one of your favorite actors in it.
Really?
Michael Ironside.
Oh, okay. Been a while.
Yeah, he's the guy that gets his arms pinched off in the elevator.
Yep, I never walk on elevators. I can avoid it.
Yeah, elevators kind of freak me out, but You know, I'm not gonna walk upstairs. What am I, an athlete? All right. Well, my number one. I think I have actually chosen as a number one before. In fact, I know I have. So I wasn't
Okay.
sure if I should choose a different one or not, but it's Akira,
Oh, okay.
and that's because of the nostalgia aspect, and also just I saw it at just the right age where the combination of seeing that and seeing Blade Runner when I was very young, I was like, okay, I just love this, the look and feel of this whole cyberpunk thing. You know, a big,
Yeah.
crazy city all lit up and
Yeah. There's not a
just,
whole lot of cyborg in it, though. A little bit. I guess if
well,
you got motorcycles,
yeah, you got motorcycles, you got,
that laser cannon.
you know, the setting
Yeah, the
is,
city.
I think the setting is about as cyberpunk as you can get. And that's, for me, that's what I always think of first with cyberpunk is the setting.
Well, even like if you go on YouTube and you look up, like cyberpunk, ambient, synthwave, whatever, you'll get
Yep.
the Akira landscape in all those
Yep.
videos.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, the funny thing is, I think I've said everything there is to say about Akira when I think it was the anime. It had to have been the anime one, where that was
Yeah,
also my number one. Um, but I think this is the first time that I've had a movie that wasn't anime related, or a list that wasn't anime related, that an anime made it onto the list. So, I'm growing as a person,
expanding your mind.
but of course, I'm not growing because it's Akira, and that's
Yeah,
the basic bitch choice for everything involving anime.
is it though? I mean, maybe for our time period, I guess. There's so much anime
For
out
our
there
generation,
nowadays.
I feel like I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but like Nadia, I remember being like a massive anime fan when we were younger. I don't know if she still is, but
Yeah,
I feel like that would be the person where I was like, I love Akira. She'd be like, okay, basic bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, true.
yeah. It's like saying somebody's favorite director is Steven Spielberg, which I think was also one of my number ones.
Yep. Okay. Well, I guess what are we talking about next?
I don't know. Let's bring up the old list, or we can just come up with something.
Yeah, I was kind of throwing around the idea of claymation, but
I like favorite claymation movie.
yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of those. It'd probably just be Nightmare Before
Yeah, you got
Christmas,
Nightmare Before Christmas.
and I
Nightmare
still
Before Christmas, Wallace and Gromit.
like what was that movie? Um, like we just watched it this last weekend, like that 15 minutes of that weird it was
I don't
Mark
know.
Twain. He was like this time
Oh,
lord.
right, yeah, the Adventures of Mark Twain or something like that.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it was like an old kid show or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
not that. I
think I
must.
might have watched that in school.
We could do claymation. That'd be kind of a challenge because I've
Okay.
never really thought about it before. I guess Corpse Bride. That's a claymation, I think. I'm just trying
Yeah,
to think of claymation movies.
I'd have to remind myself.
Huh?
I'd have to look it up. Like I got almost nothing.
Yeah, me
Like
neither.
I remember that video game. Forgot what it was called. Was it Killer Instinct? That wasn't it. That wasn't claymation, was it?
What video game? What are you trying to think of?
There was a claymation fighting game.
Oh,
There's Clay
it.
Fighter. Wasn't there
I,
another
I
one?
don't think. I don't think that it was Killer Instinct. I remember that movie. That was kind of a knockoff Mortal Kombat kind of thing. Because I
Yeah,
had that one. I
I
had it
think it
growing up.
was CGI, not. It was
Yeah.
like the '90s CGI. Okay, well we can do that. You can think about it.
Yeah, we can do that. That'll be a challenge because I have to just remember claymation movies first of all.
Yeah, I've only seen a handful, and probably in my
Yeah,
childhood.
same.
Okay,
Yeah.
well I'll let you go unless you got something
All
else.
right. Yeah, probably go back to bed.